Finding underrated action movies is always a treat because they're exciting films that end up being a good time. Everyone knows the most iconic action movies, the ones that made a huge impact on the box office, and the most critically acclaimed, but it's the hidden gems that are a blast to discover. Most of these action films were well received, yet they don't get mentioned much when it comes to the best in the genre. They're typically forgotten about, overlooked, or fly under the radar when they deserve much more acclaim. Some are creative, some share subgenres, but all are worth checking out. Monkey Man, 2024, original SR image by Yaelin Chacon. Dev Patel broke out with his tremendous performance in the acclaimed Slumdog Millionaire back in 2008. Since then, he's built up an impressive career with a diverse filmography, and by the time 2024 rolled around, the star tried his hand at filmmaking. Patel made his directorial debut with Monkey Man, an action movie in which he also plays the lead role. The story centers on Kid, a man on a quest for revenge on the corrupt leaders of his village who caused his mother's death. Monkey Man features some fantastic action sequences, including fights where nothing is held back. Patel showcases an impressive skill set behind the camera, earning him a nomination for Outstanding Debut by a British writer, director, or producer at the BAFTAs. The film only grossed around $35 million, meaning it wasn't watched by too many people. Given how crowd-pleasing the action is, as well as the work by Patel as director and actor, Monkey Man deserves to be mentioned among the best modern action films. The Rundown, 2003. These days, Dwayne Johnson is known as one of the most famous actors in the world. His action movies tend to portray him as almost unstoppable due to his powerhouse frame, which is one of many tropes we've come to expect from his projects. However, The Rundown stands out in that field because it's one of Johnson's earliest movies. At this point in his career, he had only worked in the Mummy franchise, so seeing him do something different was worth checking out. The Rundown also holds up as one of Johnson's best films. Starting a long trend of Dwayne Johnson appearing in jungle movies, The Rundown follows Beck Johnson, a bounty hunter who is tasked with finding the son of a lone shark in Brazil, where they get caught up in the midst of a rebellion. The Rundown wasn't exactly met with sparkling reviews, but it remains a really fun action movie. Johnson has strong chemistry with his impressive array of co-stars, including Sean William Scott, Rosario Dawson, and Christopher Walken. Ballerina, 2023. Not to be confused with the John Wick spin-off from 2025 starring Ana de Armas, 2023's Ballerina is a hidden gem on Netflix. This action thriller from South Korea is another tale of someone out for vengeance and kicking butt along the way. In Ballerina, Jang Ok-ju, Jeon Jong-seo, is a former bodyguard who gets brought back into a world of violence when someone murders her roommate, who she may or may not have been in a relationship with. What follows is just about 90 minutes of action. Movies in this genre involving badass female leads are nothing new, there are several included on this list, so the premise of Ballerina doesn't stand out on its own. It's the committed performance by Jong-seo and the action sequences. Ballerina flew under the radar when it premiered on Netflix, but those who saw it appreciated how good it was. The movie sits at an impressive 91% rating on Rotten Tomatoes, ranking above a lot of similar films in the genre. Predators, 2010. The history of the Predator franchise is a mixed bag. The first installment is a true action classic from the 80s, while many fans were disappointed by the solid sequel. The 2018 entry was poorly received before Dan Trachtenberg came along and reinvigorated the franchise with Prey, Predator, Killer of Killers, and the upcoming Predator, Badlands. In the middle of all that is Predators, a 2010 sequel that has mostly been forgotten. That makes sense since it came after the lackluster spin-offs with Alien and a long time before the revival in 2022, but it deserves much more attention. Predators has a simple, yet effective setup. The film sees a group of killers get abducted and placed on a planet inhabited with the titular creatures, setting up a battle of man versus predator. That means the entire movie is filled with action. From a strong cast featuring Adrian Brody, Alice Braga, and others, to Nimrod Antal's work as director, Predators is way better than it's given credit for. It doesn't reinvent the genre, but it comes with a ton of sci-fi action and is a blast to watch. Kate, 2021. Another entry in the subgenre of female-driven revenge movies, Kate is something that flew under the radar upon release on Netflix. This actioner sees Mary Elizabeth Winstead in the lead role, and she continues on the strong work she did in 2020's Birds of Prey, showing an immense knack for the genre. As is often the case in a film like this, the titular Kate is an assassin. She hesitates when taking out a Yakuza boss after seeing his child with her, which causes Kate's higher-ups to poison her, giving her one day to live. Kate uses that final day to exact revenge on those who poisoned her, which includes her forming a bond with the child who was with the Yakuza member. Winstead does great work as the lead, while Woody Harrelson is a standout in the supporting cast. Reviews weren't great, with it sitting at just 46% on Rotten Tomatoes. However, a lot of that is down to the screenplay not being very original. Anyone coming in to just see engaging action sequences and have a good time will not be disappointed. The Book of Eli, 2010. These days, the action films most associated with the legendary Denzel Washington are the Equalizer franchise, which Washington is at the forefront of. However, he starred in several action movies that are just as good, if not better, before that series began. Among those projects is The Book of Eli, one of Washington's less famous movies. This 2010 movie works like a western, yet it's set in a post-apocalyptic future rather than in the Old West. Again, this is another movie that works because of the straightforward premise. Washington portrays Eli, a mysterious man on a quest to deliver his copy of a book to a location on the west coast of the United States, fighting various people along the way. The action sequences from the Hughes brothers are a highlight, especially when something notable about the protagonist gets revealed in the end. Washington's supporting cast is also must-see, including Mila Kunis, Gary Oldman, and Ray Stevenson. Gunpowder Milkshake, 2021. 2021 saw Netflix release not one, but two underrated action movies where a female assassin goes on a mission with a young girl at their side. The aforementioned Kate is one of them, but the better movie is Gunpowder Milkshake. Like Mary Elizabeth Winstead, another actress fresh off a superhero movie role, plays the lead in Gunpowder Milkshake. This time, it's Karen Gillan, and she brings a ton of energy and charisma to the role of Sam. Sam is an assassin who teams up with a group of badass women, including her mother, Lena Headey, to protect a child from rival assassins out to kill her. Carla Gugino, Michelle Yeoh, Angela Bassett, and Chloe Coleman round out an impressive cast. Gunpowder Milkshake has some of the most creative action scenes anywhere, including one where Sam's